This is our presentation on the horror film Hangman. In our film, we used many conventions that you see in horror films. For example, we used a female protagonist with blonde hair and blue eyes to show innocence and purity, and we also used white clothing. So that again, the protagonist looks innocent and pure, and the audience could connect with the protagonist and feel sorry for her when she got killed. The blood also is a convention of horror films because it makes the protagonist look vulnerable and weak. However, we didn't conform to some of the typical conventions. The protagonist's clothes, we had her in less revealing clothes. This is because of the weather. It was quite cold, and we didn't think it was realistic enough if we had a protagonist running around the woods in revealing clothes in winter. So we wanted to discourage the stereotype. Another reason for discouraging the stereotype was we didn't have a reason for the protagonist being killed. But this is like in old films such as Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th and Halloween, they get killed because they've committed a sin, like they've had sex or done drugs. But in our film, I just got killed for no reason.
Oh, but we didn't watch the whole film, so it might have been a reason.
The audience. We showed it to year 9s who were aged 13 and 14, and they were quite scared, and one boy actually screamed a bit. He was scared at the point of view shot on the screen. We showed it to year 12s, and the girls that watched it jumped during the film, and again with the point of view shot. Year 13, they said it was scary and they liked the film, and the teachers said it built tension really well. So at this shot,
build tension really well.
At this shot showing the acts. So in conclusion, we decided that our film should be certificate 15, and not for year 9s because they were quite scared. And it was made for older teenagers, since there are teenagers in the film.
Yeah, we've got a clip over here as well, but we can put it on the presentation, so we have to watch it over here on the Mac. Everyone say? Yeah. Cool.
This is Abbey Woods, where we shot our film. This is where we shot the ending of our film.
Right here, baby.
We chose this place because we thought it was a good idea to have Dan standing at the top so that he looks superior and powerful. We also wanted Dan to be attacking the camera, and so that it was quite scary. And then the title would come up and it would be memorable and dramatic.
Oh, hello. Filming in the woods isn't without its problems. First of all, lighting. Daylight doesn't last forever, so we had limited time to film. Also, filming in a place like this, it's a beautiful place. Lots of people come here to walk their dogs. Interruptions were common. Also, last of all, being out in the open, you have to deal with the weather. Snow, rain, freezing cold. We handled it all, baby!
This area here is where we shot our main tension scene, as we had Chloe running from this direction up behind this log here. This right here is where Chloe hid, as he gave us a nice shot of Dan walking, scraping his axe along that tree over there. Stop.
Hi, this tree is where we used this shot. We got the idea from this scene from a film we saw called The Crazies, because it looked eerie. There were some problems when we was filming it.
Just go quickly.
know what I hate? Vandalism. If this was done during our film, there'd have been a lot of reshooting, that's all I'm saying. This is the main scene for a horror film, where our protagonist wakes up here, finds their body here.
This boy!
We chose this one because it gives us two options for where our protagonist can run off, either up there or up there.
We also chose this as our main shot, as it has lots of foliage and tall trees. It gives the effect of being more isolated, which is a very good convention of horror, as the protagonist is usually alone.
Our main protagonist, the killer, wore black garments, a black suit, which made him look more dark, mysterious, ambiguous. And also the sat mask on his head makes it look more mysterious and anonymous. So this was a main convention we followed in horror. Also, another thing was his height. Because he was really tall, he looked more superior and more powerful over the girl protagonist. And also the weapon was an axe, which was very violent and a ruthless weapon to use. So we thought of these characteristics as we thought of the weapon.
For our audience, we targeted the age of about 15 to 18, like sort of young adults, teenagers. What we thought would attract them is sort of like the woods and the violence, especially because it's quite a local setting. So if there's in like their own situation, it'd have like sort of their own. It could happen to you, Phil. Also, because we fall into the category of our age group, we could like have a personal input of what we'd like to see in a horror film. So what we think would be scary, what we think has been scary in other films. Conventions we usually followed was the female victim who becomes isolated, usually by themselves, also being chased by the killer in some way, having a big scream, looking at the camera, like Dan said, being the villain being superior to the victim, and also the villain wearing the mask to hide their identity. During our filming and once our film was almost finished, we had a lot of feedback because we had to watch it over and over again just to make sure we was getting it right. Main ones we got was that the running scenes were too long, so this helped cut them down, but we had to be careful not to get them too short, so we don't have like a second of someone running and then it wouldn't keep up with the high pace of the whole piece. We were also told that the rest of the film, if it was to carry on, not just be an introduction, it would be too violent, probably for a younger audience, so like not 12 or 18, it would be 15 to 18. What we learned about the technologies in the process, I'm going to talk to you about editing first of all. The first thing we used was the iMovies on the Mac, and when we first started this media course, everyone was completely new to it. I don't think anyone has used a Mac, has they? No. But well, when we got together as our group to start a horror presentation, horror film, we had a basic understanding from our preliminary tasks, and majority of all our editing was actually in the first couple of seconds into the film, with all the editing and all the clips and the shots we had. We had probably more shots in there than we did throughout the whole film, and the most amount of sound in it as well. What we've learned over this whole project is that basically our techniques and our ability on the iMovie software has increased dramatically. Most significantly, what we did learn that was quite important was how to darken our shots effectively, because we had to shoot during the day, because if we waited for the light to be too dark, the camera wouldn't pick up any quality. So what we did, we used an effect called day to night, but this gave the overall result of the clip that finished with a purpley blue finish. So we would just simply finish this with just going on the clip settings and then just reducing the amount of blue in the shot.